Ladies and gentlemen of the DTSN crew and followers, hey, we are back here again tonight. Tonight I have Dave and Nolan with me, and we are excited to get into this thing and talk some college football. We have a fantastic week ahead of us again. Actually, it kind of appears like it might be a little bit of a slower week almost than we've been used to in this jam-packed season so far already. But hey, this is still a great weekend nonetheless, especially if you're a Mizzou fan. As you see tonight, we even have Nolan in some Mizzou swag. We don't get that very often. I busted out the pullover with no undershirt just so I could rock a little Mizzou gear here. First thing I get my hands on. Dave, welcome back, man. It's good to see you again. We know you're going through the climate out there with the crickets and the critters and the bugs outside. We appreciate you getting in here tonight. Fellas, how we doing real quick?
Doing good. Excited to talk some more football, and I'm not sure about this slower weekend part.
All right, perfect. Hey, good. We don't want slower weekends. Dave, how are you, brother?
Good. Glad to be back after seemed like a long hiatus. I think it was only a week, but when we get used to doing this 2 or 3 times a week, even a week seems like a long time. But I agree with Nolan. I think this is going to be a pretty fun weekend. I think we've seen everybody's true colors at this point in college football, so we kind of know who's really actually like competitive, but we've also seen who isn't. And some of these games, this may be that last week where they can prove that they really are something, or if they're just flat out not the team we expect them to be. But I think this is going to be a good one for sure.
Absolutely. Hey, Brian, hopping in here with the comments. Brian, we're going to miss you tonight, man. We know you'd love to talk about Mizzou football here. So blow up the comments while you're at it tonight for us, would you? But before we get into the college football conversation, we have a fantastic announcement to make. We've been wanting to kind of get some merch out there and some items that you guys should go to from a store and buy and pick out. And we had one of our great followers and a friend of ours kind of set us up with the website here. Thanks to Chase for hooking us up with this. So real quick, and we'll just the end of the show too, just because usually as the show goes on, we usually pick up people that review it. And we're going to link all of the merch website stuff in all of our descriptions underneath each episode. We'll put it up on our main feed for YouTube, Apple, and Spotify so you can get to it there. But just going to show some items here that are on there real quick. Obviously, we have some hats with our logo on them. Those are some good-looking lids right there. I plan on getting me a couple of these since I get my ass rode pretty hard about the hats that I wear, I feel like, on this show. So I'm going to get a couple of those hats, and then none of y'all can talk that shit because I'm going to have a DTSN hat on, so you guys can miss me with that at that point. Then we have some nice golf attire. We got some Nike attire in there, some Adidas attire, whatever suits you. Obviously, different colors to choose from. It's a nice-looking golf polo here with our logo on it. Also, we got some hoodies. We got some Carhartt hoodies, some cheaper brand hoodies, whatever you kind of like. And, hey, we finally got to get our slogan thrown on our hoodies, and this is fantastic. Shopping books and buying hooks on the back of these hoodies. I cannot get my hands on enough of these. I promise you, every time you see me in the fall and the winter, I'm going to have one of these hoodies on. I'm going to wear it till there's holes in it and then just keep ordering more because these are badass, dude. That's everything I wanted in a hoodie right there since we came up with that slogan on this show. Those are kick-ass right there. Tons of colors to choose from on the hoodies as well. And then all you hunters out there, we got some camo gear in there for hunting season that Chase hooked us up with. Appreciate him doing that as well. Got the Blaze Orange logo in there to make sure you got a little bit of Hunter Orange on and a couple options to choose from there. Hoodies, hats, beanies, pullovers. We got the goods, man. This is fantastic stuff. We are super excited about this, and we cannot get our hands on enough of this merch. So, Nolan, I know you're pretty keyed about this too, man. This is awesome. You get your hands on any of this stuff yet?
That's actually what I'm doing right after the podcast, going to order my beanie. Won't be in for tomorrow night when I go bow hunting, but it'll be in for the next time I'm out there. Hopefully it brings me some good luck.
Hell yeah, baby. Dave, what are you going to get your hands on?
Man, I'm already thinking about the half zip. The half zip is it for me. I'm a big half zip guy, so that's going to be my go-to initially right off the bat. For sure, a hat too. Hats are always – you can't have enough hats as a guy.
No, and there's a good-looking quarter zip in there that I've already got my hands on. Hell, I loaded up on all kinds of stuff today that I got my hands on. There's a quarter zip in there. It's not like a pullover, but it's like a long sleeve quarter zip, dude. And that thing's badass. And I'm going to be rocking that for sure. And we might even put a new rule on the show where if you just got some DTSN merch on, it doesn't have to be collared anymore or nice looking. We're just going to get after it with all the merch that we are putting out on the market. And with that, we did have a comment last week. We had a fan get in here and say, hey, why don't we try to give some giveaways? So obviously with that, since the merch is up and the store is out, what we are going to do is make sure you're obviously following us. That has to happen. You have to subscribe. You have to do all of those things. You have to be liking the shows. We can see all that. We document all that throughout the episodes. We can get our hands on all that information. But Nolan had a fantastic idea, and I like it. I think we're going to run with it. Is you have to get in and leave a comment or a comment or a review. I guess I should say a review.
A review. Yep.
We want you to give us a 5-star review and make sure you're giving it the 5-star. And whoever has the 2 best comments that we gather from Apple, Spotify, and YouTube, we are going to reach out to those 2 winners, announce them on the show, and then they can reach out to us, and we're going to let them pick out anything from the store they want. We're going to let each person pick out one thing, and they can give us their sizes, their colors, whatever item they want, and the DTSN crew is going to go in there and purchase it for you all. Obviously, we are not getting this stuff for free ourselves, so we still have to pay for it as well. But we want to reward the people that follow us and help take care of us and help grow the brand with us, because we do have some pretty loyal listeners. Like I said, we're at 107 subscribers now. I feel like we gained one every episode here recently, and that's been awesome stuff. So we want to definitely take care of the people that have been out there listening to us and telling their friends and family as well. So we will repeat this again at the end of the show, just in case you came in late and missed any of it, and just in case anybody comes into the show late, and we can definitely get that out there again. So with all that being said, Nolan, Dave, you guys got anything on that?
No, sir. Just excited to get some DTSN gear.
Yeah, man, it's awesome stuff. I greatly appreciate Chase taking the time and hooking us up with that. That's really cool stuff right there. And like I said, man, a lot of it looks awesome. It is some good looking stuff. And Chase did say too, there you can reach out to any of us on the podcast. You can reach out to Chase directly. Actually, he was so kind to drop his information on the website. So if there's anything that you wanted him to add to the store, he said reach out to him. He can add some colors, change up a logo a little bit, add some items. If your wife or you're a female out there and you listen to us and you're wanting something other than what the female options are in the store, you can reach out to Chase and he'll hook you up with that. So this is really cool. This is big for us. This is going to help us grow the brand a lot. We are ecstatic about this. So Dave, we'll review all that at the end. Your turn, buddy.
Absolutely. And like we talked, I think this is going to be a pretty exciting weekend. There's a lot of good matchups.
Mm-hmm.
Right off the bat, we got Texas A&M at LSU. This is going to be quite a matchup in Death Valley. On paper, I think this is one of the games that on paper it should be very like a huge game. I don't know that it will be, man. I really think Texas A&M is going to walk away with this one comfortably. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout, but LSU, I think, is going to get exposed here to the fullest extent. I think everyone's already questioning LSU and Brian Kelly at this point. I think LSU is going to struggle with Marshall Reed because he's a mobile quarterback. They have struggled, with mobile quarterbacks in the past. And I don't, Marshall Reed he's not a Heisman guy, but he is going to make you pay.
He might just be, man. He's getting his name in contention. This game's Saturday the 25th, 6:30 p.m. on ABC. Texas A&M -2.5, over under 47.5. Texas A&M's trying to make this playoff push, man. I think they for sure lock it up. They win this game unless the wheels completely fall off. That would push them to 8-0. I think LSU's reeling at this point. They're 5-2. And Dave, you hit the nail on the head, man. There's a lot of questions right now about LSU and Brian Kelly and this offense. And at this point in time, the defense is slipping a little bit. And we all know my boy Whit Weeks has been out, and I think he's going to be out again in this football game the way it looks. And that is really when LSU's defense takes a step back. That's when the run defense takes a step back. That's when the pass game for the opposing team and the play action, all of those things get going when Whit Weeks is not available. So that's a really big loss, honestly. I'm not just trying to stroke my ego because I was all over Whit Weeks before the season started. But I mean, that's truly what it is. I mean, that is as true as it gets. And I think with this A&M receiving core, it took a big step this year. The run game's taken a step. Marcel Reed's taken a massive step. I was not a Marcel Reed guy coming into this season, but I got to eat my words a little bit because he's doing a good job. He's doing what he needed to do for this Texas A&M football team. The one concern I do have a little bit is A&M gave up a shit ton of points to Arkansas last week. If I remember right, it was 42 points. And I know they kind of dropped back in that shell defense we always talk about, right, where teams push the ball on them at the end of the game. You're just trying to get out of there and get it over with. So there is a lot of that. There is some garbage time stuff going on there. But I still have the question, right? But on the flip side of that, Arkansas's offense is much better, in my opinion, than LSU's offense. And I think LSU's offensive line is hot garbage. And I don't think A&M's defense is world beaters this season anymore. I think they're relying more on their offense than their defense because A&M's offensive line is really good. But this A&M defense can be exposed, but I just don't think what appears to be a banged-up Nussmeier and a not-so-fluid offense right now at LSU, I don't think they have enough to expose them. And this truly, to Dave's point, could bury LSU.
Very much so. And, I mean, you guys covered it pretty well, but I got a few things to add here. I think A&M against LSU's defense, their corners are pretty legit. A&M does have a good run game. They have probably one of the top offensive lines in the entire country at this point. I think you would want them over almost any other team. But if they're going to get something going in the pass game, they got to attack the nickels and the safeties. It's going to be Craver and Concepcion out of the slot more so than the outside. You see him a lot on the outside working kind of single coverage. I think it's going to be more of the slot game for him this week. But then on the LSU side, like you guys said, their season, I mean, they might be knocked out of everything. I don't know if you guys looked ahead at their schedule. They got Bama, Arkansas, Western Kentucky, and Oklahoma. If they lose this game and they start quitting on Brian Kelly, I am not ready to chalk up Arkansas as a dead win for LSU. And if that's the case, they go 6-6. They're barely bowl eligible, boys.
Dude, if they fall to 6-6, Brian Kelly's gone, right? And
well, I think he's leaving for Penn State anyway. I don't know what you guys think. It's either him or Matt Rule, I think, at this point.
So, I don't understand the hype behind Matt Rule. I really don't. Like, especially when you just get rid of James Franklin. Like, I think you want an upgrade, right? I don't think Matt Rule is that much of an upgrade. I think it's much more of a lateral move. So
I don't think
Brian
you're wrong.
Kelly, even I don't know about Brian Kelly. I did hear that Marcus Freeman got approached and he immediately shot that down.
Yeah, I think both the big schools have approached him and he shot him immediately. But Dave, I don't think you're wrong. I mean, and Nolan and I kind of talked today. We want to save a lot of that conversation because there's a lot of goods there. There's a lot of meat on that bone. So we want to save that for like once we kind of get into the lull and like they see more of these teams have turnover. But I think you're 100% right. I don't think either one of these coaches are necessarily an upgrade from James Franklin. And the Matt Rule thing is definitely just because of his past, 100% in my opinion. I don't think, and maybe because they hope they can bring the quarterback with them. That's a big win. But we'll save some of that. But I'm with you, Dave. I don't think you're wrong about that at all. And Brian Kelly, to me, I think is in big time trouble. And I don't know if it's necessarily a lock. I don't know if I'm on the same page as Nolan necessarily that he's for sure going to Penn State, but I could see it. The LSU pressure it's too much. It's too much of a pressure job, and Brian Kelly does not do good in those situations. We see it all the time in post-game interviews. I mean, he has meltdowns. Anything else from this football game, fellas? LSU's offense just sucks, man. I can't say it enough. They have no run game. Nothing. The receiver just sucks.
The other thing is, I don't even know, like, suggestions to fix it. I'd say, I mean, with the Texas offense, we called for get the ball out quicker. We called for moving the pocket a little bit, something just to change it up. I don't even have I'm not an offensive guru. Keep that in mind, everybody. But I don't even have a suggestion for LSU. Nussmeier's knee is not right, I don't think. Yeah. Their offensive line can't protect anybody. Their receivers, I mean, they can get a little bit of separation, but they can't get a bunch of separation, and their run game is just anemic. I don't have a suggestion other than if Brian Kelly is truly leaving like I think he's going to, I don't think he's going to get fired. I want to clarify that. I think he's going to leave. If he is leaving, might as well go youth movement.
I don't disagree with that. I don't. And I'm with you. I don't know what direction they go, man, because they have nothing to build on. Like in the offense, when your offensive line is that bad and you're in the SEC conference play, you're in trouble, man. It is panic mode. Like, I don't know. I'm with you. I don't know what they do. I don't know how they fix it. It is definitely not an immediate fix right now. They're in trouble moving forward. Seriously.
Yep.
All right, Dave. Give us this one, big dog.
Next one is I think this is gonna be one of the most exciting games of the weekend. But we have number 8 Ole Miss going up against number 13 Oklahoma. That's gonna be a noon game. I don't know why this is a noon game. I think this should be a 7:00 game.
No, I think this. No, oh, sorry. You don't. Your images don't pop up, do they?
No, they don't.
Oh no, sorry. This one you skipped one. We got BYU at Iowa State. I forgot you don't get the images on your device.
Okay, I was going off of our notes. That's my.
No, you're good. No, that's on me. I threw the wrong one up anyway. I'll fix it. BYU at Iowa State, Saturday the 25th, 2:30 p.m. on Fox. Iowa State minus 2.5, over under 49.5. That's on me, Dave. What do you got on this one?
Oh, man, I don't know. I was really high on Iowa State. I mean, there's people, there's consideration about Iowa State losing their head coach, somebody buying him out. But man, I just don't know. Carson Beck, or Rocco Beck, I think is going to be probably the decisive. Like, if he decides to play, I think he can really carry Iowa State. BYU, I'm not really sure kind of how I feel about them.
They're just there's too many questions.
I don't like. I'm like,
no one hates BYU, dude. He's over here shaking his head.
Dude, they get lucky so many times. Look at the turnover differential, and it's not them forcing interceptions. It's lucky fumbles that bounce straight into their hands. They're bound to lose. Mark my words. They will not make the Big 12 championship game.
No one is adamant about this, dude. And I don't think you're wrong, but I thought last week was the week they were going to get got. I do think them being at home last week played a role. Fellas, I don't know if Iowa State gets them. I want to say Iowa State gets them. I was really loving Iowa State early, but they're on a 2-game losing skid. They are coming off a bye. And I am with Dave. I think Rocco Becht is 100% the X factor in this football game, but I think he's always the X factor in Iowa State football games. I know it's easy to pick a quarterback as your X factor, and I especially usually don't do that. I try to get outside the box, but it really comes down to him a lot because I don't feel like the receiving core is very good or does enough at times. Their run game is pretty good and pretty consistent, and they can kind of lean on that if they have to. Their defense is pretty hard-nosed, and we all know Matt Campbell is a hard-nosed coach, so nothing's going to come easy for the opposing team. But what really intrigues me about BYU at this point is we talked about it on the review show. Dude, Bear Bachmeier is so Haynes King-esque. He just doesn't want to lose. He does whatever he has to do to win the football game. And I kind of broke this game down a little bit. I don't want to get so statsy that it gets annoying, but I broke this down. Both these quarterbacks are around 62.5% completion. Both quarterbacks, 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Both these teams convert third downs at 40%. These teams are pretty similar. They're pretty similar football teams. So I don't really know what direction this could go. Iowa State having the home field is big. BYU kind of coming off that big win, that Holy War win that got all their attention. Maybe they come in a little flat.
Yeah, but the only decent program they played is Utah. I mean, look at who Iowa State has played versus look at who Utah has played.
And they got 2 lucky fumbles.
Yeah, no, you guys aren't wrong.
And even BYU, I think all they really got going is the run game. I mean, it is a pretty solid run game. I think that's the one positive for them.
They have good receivers. They just can't. They can't get the ball on a consistent basis.
See, that's my X factor in this game is the Iowa State front 7. It's the BYU run game that keeps them going. And if they stay ahead of the chains, I mean, it's over for Iowa State.
Cody comes in here and says, take the over. That's an intriguing take on a BYU Iowa State game. I don't hate it because if both these teams do get it going, I mean, they can get it going. I love this comment from Jordan coming in here just to get no one riled up more. BYU would roll FSU. Fantastic.
Hey, listen, they would. Did you watch us lose to Stanford last week?
Lost to Stanford, so you're just kicking a guy while he's down, Jordan.
BYU would beat Stanford by 14.
Oh, I would take BYU minus 14.
Even Valley Catholic would be Florida State right now, the way things are.
If no one was a quarterback, put Nolan back at quarterback, baby, and Bryant out there on the defensive end, we'll get some things rolling. Hey, one thing, seriously, though, on this game, before we get off of it, is Iowa State corners. I do believe they're out again. That's huge. Mm-hmm. And I don't believe Big Citrus is playing in there on the interior defensive line for Iowa State either. Mm-hmm. None of that bodes well for what BYU does. And that is why I think this line's what it is. So, and BYU has, and not that Iowa State doesn't, but BYU has more to play for right now, I feel like. They're in control of their own destiny at this point moving forward. Iowa State has to win to go somewhere.
Yep. But that's why I say it's not a slow weekend. As we talk through some of these games as we're coming up, there's a bunch of them. I don't think they're play-in games. I think they're play-out games. Iowa State loses, they're done. I truly think if BYU does not catch this game, they're not making the Big 12 championship game.
I can promise you if they don't win this game, they're definitely out on the playoffs because their resume is so weak. There's no way unless they did go in and win the Big 12 championship and got in somehow. But I'm with you.
It's a lot of play out games or
Yes.
left out games, however you want to call it.
We'll
That's
call
a lot
it
of what
elimination.
this weekend is.
We'll call it elimination weekend. This is
There you go.
elimination weekend.
There you
For
go.
sure. I'm with that. Okay, Dave. Since I crossed you up on the last one, you got it this time, buddy.
But no, yeah, this is probably what I'm excited for this game. I don't understand how it's not a 7 o'clock game. This is an incredible game, but hey, I'm not upset about it because that just means I get to watch it while the kids go to the birthday party. It's number 8 Ole Miss at noon playing number 13 Oklahoma. I think this game is going to be incredible. I've looked into this a little bit just because John Manutier didn't quite look right against Texas. Again, the guy just had surgery, which is mind blowing to me that he is currently playing in one of the toughest conferences in the country. But I think this is going to be a very fun. I think if John Manutier is healthy, this is going to be a very fun game to watch because Trinidad Chambliss is a very exciting guy to watch, and he moves the ball. And I think that's where he's going to succeed. If they can just keep moving the ball, keep getting third down, to just go. If they keep the tempo high, I think this is where they will succeed because that Oklahoma defense is no joke.
Yeah, man, that's what I was going to say. Pump the brakes on them moving the ball.
I think that's the only way they can have success. I don't.
They're going to have to stay. You're right. They're going to have to stay in the hurry up. But
I'm not saying it's going to happen. But that's where I see them having that success.
Yeah.
But again, this is going to be Trinidad Chambliss. This ain't Division II anymore. This is going to be a true test right here.
Yeah. You're right. And what's crazy about the Trinidad Chambliss thing is, I think there was a lot of voices of concern that maybe Ole Miss goes back to Austin Simmons. I was kind of reading from some. He has been announced now that he's going again. Yes, but I think after that last game, I think there was kind of some people like, do we go back to Simmons? I don't think Chambliss has been the problem at all in that game that they lost. I mean, they clearly scored a ton of points. Yeah. Now, there are still some mistakes that you have, but dude, he is a first-year starter in Division I SEC football and going on the road in tough environments. I mean, so there's going to be growing pains, right? I mean, you're going to have that. And I think John Manutier has also experienced the growing pains of being in the SEC a little bit. That, like, we were really early on this, that the John Manutier football game that you watch him play is very much so hero ball. It's very much so, I'm just throwing this shit up. I'm getting out of the pocket and I'm going to try to extend plays. And sometimes that doesn't work in this conference. Most of the times it doesn't work in this conference. And I think he is a good passer, but I don't think he's a good pocket passer. I don't think he's good in the pocket. He is best when he's on the move, when he's getting out of the pocket and extending plays. So I think this is a really interesting matchup. The line is crazy to me. Oklahoma is -5.5. The over-under is 54.5. Dave, you did say noon, but we understand that you were out there on the East Coast. This is an 11 a.m. game for all the Central Time Zone people. Whatever time zone you're in, it's 11 or noon. I don't even know. I get West Coast time confused, so it's like probably 1 o'clock there, whatever that is. But, yeah, definitely tune into this one. I'm with Nolan again on this. This is definitely I can't say definitely, but this is an elimination game in my opinion too. Yeah. I think it's too tough to bounce back from.
Yeah, and everybody looks at Oklahoma's record here. Everybody looks at Ole Miss's record. It's like they got one loss. What are you talking about? An elimination game? Ole Miss, they have a couple more really tough games. Oklahoma has potentially the hardest schedule in the entire nation left after this. One of these teams loses. It's my opinion that if you can't win this game, you're not going to do what you need to do in the next 4 after this. 100%. So it's an elimination game. But I'm excited to watch the chess match that is Lane Kiffin versus Brent Venables. I think Lane Kiffin got a little bit stale in his play calling in that fourth quarter against Georgia. He tried to recycle some of the plays that had worked earlier in the game.
Yep.
Georgia just kind of shut him down. Give them credit for their halftime adjustments, all that you want. But I think Ole Miss just has to kind of stay in their bag, keep running some new plays, variations of this, variations of that. And how you said about John Manutier playing hero ball, I think this game is going to have a couple turnovers in this game, mostly interceptions. John Manutier making some dumb decisions, and Trinidad Chambliss just playing in a huge environment. Yep. I also saw some stats. Brent Venables likes to blitz. We all know that. Yep. But I don't know if you guys saw these stats or not. Chambliss is much better, much higher pass efficiency, way more touchdowns, way more yards against the blitz than no blitz.
You know why I think that is?
Well, I got some theories, but I'd like to hear yours.
Mine is because he doesn't have to think as much. Like mine is, I think like he knows it's coming, and I'm just going to get the ball out.
Yeah.
Like find the quick hitter, take what the defense gives me, and I'm just going to get the ball out. I know I got a guy that's setting up probably 3 or 4 yards on a hitch or something in the flats real quick. I'm just getting it out, and I think that elevates it a little bit. And they do have some playmakers that can go get some yards after the catch.
Yep. The only other thing I want to point out about this game, Brent Venables likes to play zone defense on the backside, the back 7 coverage, and starts bringing some blitzes from all different angles. The majority of people that beat Lane Kiffin's offense, they play man. I'm interested to see if they switch some stuff up and they start playing a little bit more man with maybe a safety over the top. It's not a Brent Venables special by any means, but at the same time, if you're a good coach, you take a look at what other people are doing and you try and mimic.
Jordan comes in and says under 55 by the hook. I love the under, besides the fact of what Nolan said that I agree with, that I do think both these offenses are going to get the ball off turnovers and plus territory because of the John McPherson interceptions, because of the Trinidad Chambliss trying to do a little bit too much and throwing interceptions himself. I think those are in play, and those are what scares me when I bet unders, because that makes it tough. Obviously, if you get a turnover in plus territory, you're getting at least 3 points for the most part. So with this too, I have a couple more things I want to add. Oklahoma has no run game. Zero. We've dogged on them for the run game all season long.
Ole Miss's run defense is not great, though.
Horrible run defense. So that is like my question. Does Oklahoma try to establish and find some sort of rushing attack in this football game? I think they have to. And if they don't, I think they're going to come up short yet again on this football game. Last thing on this one, did you guys see Lane Kiffin talking shit to Venables about play stealing?
Sign stealing?
Sign stealing. Like that.
I don't understand. Everybody's in the head comms this year. Why are we even signaling?
Also, why do you do that the week before you go play them? You're just giving them bulletin board material.
I know you're trying to ruffle some feathers.
That's fair. I get you're trying to ruffle some feathers, and that's what Lane does. That's what he does best. And he's a Twitter guru and just gets in heads. So I love that stuff. I like that you can see it kind of being somewhat fun to them still and not being so robotic. But, man, Brent Venables is a defensive genius, and I don't know if I would have done it to him knowing that you got Trinidad Chambliss coming into Norman this weekend. Anything else in the football game? No?
Excited to watch that one, though, to be honest.
For sure. All right, Dave, give us this next one that we got here, buddy.
The next one, this is going to be a good one. I really wish Brian was here. Number 15, Missouri, going to play number 10, Vanderbilt at 3:30 p.m. I don't care what anybody says. Vanderbilt's taking this one. You already know I was going to say that. And listen, I can back it up. Hear me out. Before you Mizzou fans start going crazy, because I know, here we go. Here goes Jordan. I knew it was coming. Listen, both of the offenses are pretty impressive. I think this is probably my second game after Ole Miss Oklahoma that I'm excited to watch, because this is going to be – it's either good. I think it's going to be very high scoring, because Vanderbilt, I will say, they're not very good defending the pass, and Bo Perula, if he can make it happen, they can really expose Vanderbilt pretty heavily. But at the same time – what happened?
That's a big ask.
Yeah, no, 100%. But the Missouri offensive line, that's where I think Vanderbilt has their success, because Diego Pavia, he can move. He's going to extend drives. He's going to keep the ball moving. He just that, like, the way I would like to think of Diego Pavia is like he's like that annoying little cousin, you know, and he's going to keep making plays and it annoys the shit out of you, but he's going to keep doing it, and he's going to rub it in your face, and you can't do nothing about it because he just keeps doing it. And we have seen it from the very beginning. At the beginning, I was like, okay, maybe it's just luck. But, man, I think the guy's just good. I really do. Because even for me, I initially was just really hyping him up because I like to get under Brian's skin. But, man, like I said, I think the home field advantage does make a difference here at Vanderbilt. This is a new Vanderbilt, you guys. This is not the old Vanderbilt. This is not the Vanderbilt that got blown out by 50.
This ain't your cousin. This ain't your cousin's Vanderbilt, Dave.
No,
this is actually your cousin's Vanderbilt, though, with Pavia at the helm. Dave, I'm concerned, right? I mean, why wouldn't I be? This is the perfect setup for Vanderbilt, but it's also in turn the perfect setup for Drinkwitz and Perdue to go in and shut the conversation of Vanderbilt and Diego Pavia down. Both these teams are 6-1. The line's 2.5 favored to Vandy. The over-under is 52.5. I think Mizzou's defense is going to have success, though. And they're obviously going to have to. Vandy is the number 1 point per drive offense in the country. Vandy is great at getting the ball to third and short. To Dave's point, Pavia is one of the best at extending drives in the country. And Dave, honestly, that analogy is incredible. He is that annoying little cousin that when you're watching their game, you're like, oh, the blitz is getting home. It's 3rd and 7. They're going to get him. And he scrambles out for a 45-yard touchdown against LSU or whatever it was. And you're sitting there asking yourself, how did this happen? How did we get here? How are we allowing a 25-year-old to use his legs and run all over our defense when the pass rush is getting home? Mizzou's offensive line is very concerning after we watched that Auburn game. Do I think Vanderbilt's defense and front seven is Auburn caliber? Not even remotely close. But what Vanderbilt did do is I'm pretty sure they got to Nussmeier and sacked him 4 times. It's a little bit easier to get to Nuss and sack him, though, because he's not very mobile right now. And Perdue is very quick and catches defenses off guard with his speed and how much he can extend drives too. So this is another one where I hate to come back and say it comes down to the quarterbacks being the X factors, but it really does. And all the conversation right now is Vanderbilt and Pavia, and I think Drinkwitz is using the Vanderbilt mentality almost with a chip on the shoulder and using it in all of his interviews and everything to hype his team up and motivate them a little bit to go into Vanderbilt and knock them off the block. Nolan, what do you think?
I think a game like this really lets us know, like, is Missouri at that next level now, or are they going to continue being Missouri they have been? Because listen, they're not. They haven't always been terrible. You know, they've been good, but they have never been great.
100%.
They can get those 10 wins, they can get those 9 wins, but man, just getting to that 11-win season, or even just maintaining that 10-win season year after year, that's where I think has been the difference for them. And I think if they can beat Vanderbilt, I think that's where they can solidify, like, hey, we're here.
Step.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is what tells us, like, are they taking that next big step? Because listen, their only loss is not a bad loss by any means.
No. Yeah.
It's a loss where I hate to sound like this guy, but it's a loss where they arguably should have won the game.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If they're 7-0 and beat Bama coming into this football game, fellas, this is a different conversation.
Oh, absolutely.
Nolan, what do you got? Even though you got that Mizzou shirt on, what do you got from a outsider's perspective on this one?
I feel like we've been in the same book, Colin, just on a different page. Your X factor a couple different times has been the quarterback. My X factor for Mizzou here, it's the safety play. You're going to be the ones keeping Pavia from getting outside. You're going to be the ones that I need in all the run fits. And I think that's going to be the X factor for Mizzou. I feel comfortable in Mizzou's offense versus Vandy's defense. I know they're ranked high in their rush defense, but who have they played that's a good rush offense is my immediate report back. I don't think that they're going to be able to really stop Mizzou's run game. Not fully. They might get some success against Mizzou's run game early, but I think Mizzou's run game is going to be too much for them. It's the safeties for Mizzou that's really going to be what I'm looking for. Those run fits, keeping Pavia from getting outside, and instead of, like you guys said, about that 3rd and 7, that's where he gets it a lot. He runs off tackle, or he just kind of cuts up inside the defensive end that's getting a little too far upfield. Listen, that's safety right there. You have the chance. Instead of letting him get 8 or 9, you have the chance, if you are aggressive and you fire fast, you stop him at 4 or 5. Even if he falls forward, you're stopping him at 4 or 5. And that's the difference in the game right there.
I think, too, where I think Mizzou can have – and obviously we got to stop Vanderbilt's tight ends. They got 2 really good tight ends, especially Eli Stowers. Defense is key on him. Eliminate him, and then Cole Spence comes alive, and the guy's huge. All you heard last week was the guy's 6'7" every time he caught a pass. The guy's 6'7", he's 6'7", he's 6'. We get it. He's 6'7", all right? So you're going to have to key on the tight ends a little bit, too, because that's where Pavia looks to go with the ball when all else fails. And I get it. But I think, too, where Mizzou's defense almost gets in trouble, and it may not hurt them too much in this game, is Brian talks about it every episode. We talk about Mizzou games. They get caught looking in the backfield a lot when there's a mobile quarterback on the other side.
Okay.
And this is one game where I'm completely okay if you give up some explosives here or there because you're stopping the Pavia run game. Because the Pavia passing attack and the Vanderbilt explosive passing plays, those aren't going to happen at an often clip. Like, you can afford to give those up on occasion, within reason, right? Not every other play, obviously, but if you can keep Pavia within respect, like I think you're going to beat this Vanderbilt team. And I'm not trying to be a homer and be super optimistic, but I do think Mizzou has the more talented roster and the better team to go win it. I think the true question mark is, what do you get from Pavia, and can Tribula throw the ball consistently enough to beat this Vanderbilt team? And we're going to have to see Mizzou stretch the field on some deep passing plays too. I mean, you are going to have to get the opposing teams to stop putting 8 in the box against you. You're going to have to prove that you can use your arm and beat opponents moving forward in this schedule.
I think if either quarterback has over 32 attempts, that team's losing the game. I don't want either quarterback to throw over 32 times. I want some actual quarterback run out of Mizzou's offense. Just a designed quarterback run. Let Ahmad Hardy, let whoever it is. I don't care who you let out there as an extra blocker. Just let them block. Let Pribula run for 5 to 6. Keep yourself ahead of the chains. And how you said about explosive plays, just thought about this. Everybody explains a defense as bend, don't break. I want no bend, maybe a few breaks. I don't care if we let up an 80-yard touchdown, but if you let up multiple 12, 15, 16-yard or 12, 15, 16 play drives where they're going 85 yards, you got no shot in the game.
Yeah, and Pavia extended the drive on 4 third downs, 5 third downs with his legs. That's where you're going to lose. I totally agree with you.
No bend, but some breaks.
I was texting, I don't know if it was Bryant or you or another buddy of mine last week. I was like, damn near run the triple option at times with Mizzou's offense, dude. Get out there and let Pribula and Hardy go to work and just and keep the defense guessing who's getting the ball. Like, because they're both lethal. Obviously, Hardy is more lethal. But I think that's one thing, too, to your point. I don't want to see over 30 attempts from Pribula. Yeah. I want to see like in the 22 to 24 passing attempt games, and I want to see Hardy get 20 carries. I'm tired of hearing the people that are talking now like, oh, was Hardy just overhyped because of the non-con? No, the dude is an absolute animal. The dude is an absolute beast. Like, every yard he had against Auburn, he had to go earn that yard because the offensive line was getting blown up because they had 8 guys in the box. So stop with that shit. And I want to see them, if the going gets tough, running the ball, don't stop. They stopped running the ball against Bama. They lost. They continued running the ball against Auburn. They found a way to win. Don't stop running the ball because Jamal Roberts, Ahmad Hardy, and Bo Pribula with their legs are a lethal trio, and they can all keep going. Wear the defense down. Wear the defense down.
Also, to answer this question here from Cody.
Yeah, Cody comes in.
This is an elimination game.
Yes, he was asking, is this an elimination game? 100%. Whoever loses this game is 90% out because both these teams have 2 hard games moving forward. And more, if you win, whoever wins this one, they can afford to drop another one and still make the playoffs.
It's the same thing we said about Ole Miss, Oklahoma. If you can't win this game, I don't expect you to win any of your other hard games.
No, Mizzou brings A&M to town next week. Then they go on the road like three or 4 weeks from now to Oklahoma. This is a game that if you're Mizzou to make the playoffs, you have to win. This is a game if you're Vanderbilt to make the playoffs, you have to win. And I think both teams know that. And that's why you're going to see a little bit extra from both teams because it's right there. Win this game. I would say whoever wins this game, I would say probably has a 60 to 70% chance to make the playoffs, whoever wins this game. I think it's over 50%.
I could get behind the 60 number. I don't know about 70. 70 is a little rich for me, but I could get behind the 60 number.
Yeah, you're right. It's probably closer to 60. Jordan comes back, laying into Cody a little bit. Yes, for Diego, he's saying. This is an elimination game for Diego, according to Jordan. I like it. 100% Jordan. I'm right there with you, buddy. Dave's best friend in college football. And thank God, Dave, I think Diego's done after this year, so I can not listen to you talk about Pavia no more.
Hey, who knows? He might get a 6th year at this rate.
I think this is his 6th year. He might get like a 7th year.
Well, I don't know if you guys saw, completely irrelevant to this, but in college basketball, we just had a guy go from the G League to college basketball. Like, what is going on in college athletics at this point?
I don't know.
There's no rules.
There's no rules. It's a loose cannon. Why would anybody leave college sports right now until you're getting paid? All right, Dave. I'm going to Nolan and I have some quickies here. So Nolan and I are going to run through those, and then we'll get to the book it segment real quick, Dave. So I'm going to go roll through this fairly quick here. Nolan, Illinois at Washington, Saturday the 25th, 2:30 p.m. on Big Ten Network. Washington -4.5, over under 53.5. What do you got here for us?
1 point for each side. Illinois has little to no run game so far this year. So my big X factor, I really need Luke Altmaier to figure out how to get the ball to Hank Beatty because their only 2 losses this year. Turns out that's Hank Beatty's lowest receiving totals with no touchdowns in those games. Get the ball to your playmaker, put it in his hands, let him work. From the Washington side of the football, Damon Williams just kind of crapped down his leg against Michigan. He blew it at the end of the game. Nothing else to say, no sugarcoating whatsoever. I need Damon Williams to step up here. We were all way high on Washington to start the year, and it was because of Damon Williams and Denzel Boston. So let's get him some confidence throws to Denzel Boston early, screen plays, those drag routes over the middle, whatever it might be. And I also want one more thing just to get him a little more confidence. Get him a couple designed QB runs.
Yeah.
Run him outside at the sideline so he has the choice. If I'm feeling good, I cut it upfield. If I'm just trying to stay ahead of the chains, let's run out of bounds. Those are confidence plays that you can tell your quarterback, hey, good decision. You get his confidence up, he plays better.
I also think, too, real quick, that both games they've lost, Damon Williams had multiple interceptions in the Ohio State game and the Michigan game, to your point. So definitely take care of the ball in this one. And Washington has a chance to go win it. I mean, look at the odds makers. They think Washington's the favorite in this game. All right, Nolan, this next one's yours as well, buddy. South Florida at Memphis, Saturday, 10:25 at 11 a.m. on ESPN2. USF -5.5, over under 63.5. Both these teams 6-1. Both these teams fighting for the G5 spot in the playoffs. What you got?
Another elimination game. Like we said, it's elimination weekend this weekend. USF really gets a chance to solidify themselves into the playoffs with a win. I think they take the top seat if they end up taking this game. They have the best wins out of the G5 schools. They're going to have one of the better records, if not the best record in all of G5 at the end of the year. I just need Byron Brown to continue being the engine of this offense. When he goes, you go, and you win games. Memphis side of the ball, it's trending towards Lewis not playing. We'll see exactly how that affects him. If he really doesn't play, I'm going to need the Memphis defense to step up a lot. I keep talking about the safeties. This is third or fourth time. The safeties are going to have to keep Byron Brown, just like we talked about Diego Pavia. Got to keep him in wraps, under check, however you want to say it. Don't let him get outside and get those big chunk plays on you. And even with your starting quarterback missing, you still have a chance because they don't have a whole lot besides Byron Brown to keep this offense going.
If Brendan Lewis doesn't play, Memphis is over. They lose and it's eliminated. In my opinion.
more than likely, but there is a chance. There's always a chance. That's why you line up and you play football.
You're right, 100%. And I had Memphis. They were my team to make the playoffs, so I'm pulling for them heavy.
Hey, I'm still holding that hope. Navy's still got a shot here. That was my team.
They do have light there, no doubt about that. The next game here on the quickie segment is Baylor at Cincinnati, the 25th, 3 p.m. ESPN2. Cincinnati -4.5, over under 67.5. The other night I talked a little bit about how we don't talk enough about Brennan Sorsby. I'm going to talk a little bit more about him right here. 1,718 yards, 9.4 yards per attempt, 17 passing touchdowns, 1 interception, only been sacked twice. The guy also has 340 yards on the ground and 6 touchdowns rushing. Unbelievable numbers, gets no credit. We need to recognize him a little bit more. And we need to recognize that this Cincinnati team, led by Dante Corleone on the defense side of the ball, is pretty damn salty. They're a pretty damn good football team. And I think one thing that we got wrong is that we thought Baylor was going to be this level of football team that Cincinnati is. If you told me we were previewing this game, I would say, okay, Cincinnati's 4-3 and Baylor's 6-1. No, Cincinnati's 6-1 and Baylor's 4-3. So this football team for Cincinnati has everything in front of them right now. They have a stable of receivers. Their quarterback's incredible. They're getting the most out of their defense. I don't think that they've played a competent offense so far, though, and that's what scares me a little bit for Cincinnati because they've allowed what I have down here. A Cincinnati defense hasn't played a competent offense, and they faced 30-plus instead of 18-point average. They've faced no good offense, 30-point-plus offense, and I think that is where Baylor could get them because Sawyer Robertson is a damn good quarterback, and I think he can sling it. We did see him last week look a little off and struggle a little bit at times and miss some open guys. Not really normal for him. It was raining a little bit, but this is a battle of 2 great quarterbacks. This is an elimination game as well for Cincinnati. if they lose this football game, the Big 12 hopes are over. And cash it in. They had a great season, great run. A lot of people didn't have them winning a bowl game. So congratulations on the season so far, but you got to get this one. So tune into this game as well. Fantastic football game. Do not miss it if you want to watch some high-level quarterbacks play ball. The next game we have here on the Quickie segment is Texas at Mississippi State. This is the 25th as well, 3:15 p.m. on SEC Network. Texas -7, over under 45.5. Last episode, I was banging the table how I'm tired of talking about Texas. I find myself talking about Texas yet again. I don't understand it. They're 5-2. Mississippi State's 4-3. Mississippi State should be 5-2 after they blew it against Florida last week. And I think Mississippi State being minus – Jordan came with a comment. Next. Mississippi State coming in being +7 at home, it piques my interest. There is no difference in Blake Shape and Arch Manning right now. I don't know. I don't know which one I would take, but I think I would take Mississippi State's run game over Texas's run game right now. I think I would take Mississippi State's offensive line over Texas's offensive line right now. The receivers are a wash, and obviously the Texas defense is much better, but I just don't think this is going to be an entertaining football game. This is going to be another Texas football game like it was against Kentucky last week, where you're bored to tears, but you have it on because you're hoping to God that Texas loses again, and they're probably going to stretch it out and win by a last-second field goal again. So if you don't watch this game, I don't blame you. I'm sure we'll review it next week somewhat, probably be in the Quickie segment because we're ready to be done and move on from Texas. The last game that we have here in the Quickie segment is Nolan and I are going to kind of tag team this one just because we want to give this game a little bit of recognition. And this is Houston at Arizona State, Saturday the 25th, 7 p.m. ESPN2. Arizona State -7.5, over under 47.5. Nolan, you said it the best. Another elimination game. What are you seeing here real quick?
Elimination weekend. Again, 1 point for each team here. Arizona State, everybody knows what you're going to do. It's going to be Sam Levitt. It's going to be Jordan Tyson. For the Houston side of the ball, you got to take him away, dude. You have to. Double cover him, bracket coverage. I don't care what you have to do. You got to take him away. For the Houston side of the ball, let's just stay ahead of the chains. That's all I ask for. The Arizona State defense is not bad by any means. You got to stay ahead of them, keep them guessing. If you can get to those third and manageables and your whole playbook is open, that's when I think you can beat them. And how we talked about elimination weekend, nobody thought Houston was going to be there at the end of the season. I'm here to tell you, if they win this game, the rest of their schedule is West Virginia, UCF, TCU, and Baylor. All very winnable games.
Yeah.
Could land them in second place of the Big 12, especially if Cincy ends up losing that game that we talked about, because right now they're in second place with an undefeated Big 12 record. They lose that game, Houston's going to overtake them. It's a wild weekend, elimination weekend.
I have 1 point on this game. I'm pretty sure Jordan Tyson's not playing.
Oof.
What does Arizona State look like without Jordan Tyson?
Yeah.
That is the question. My answer is not good, but I don't want to get too overhyped the Jordan Tyson thing, even though I'm pretty confident we're right about it. But I'm going to let it sit until next weekend or next week when we review this game, and we're talking about how Houston might win it because Arizona State had nowhere to go with the football, and Sam Levitt was running for his life trying to get first downs with his legs all game long.
How we talked earlier in the season about Sam Levitt being one of the top quarterbacks in college football. This is your chance to prove it, brother.
100%, man. Jordan said, as soon as I start fading Texas, Arch will look like his Uncle Peyton. That's usually how it goes. And also a comment here, I like watching Devin Dampier. Got to watch the Utah game to watch Devin Dampier this weekend. Make sure you tune into that one as well. All right. Let's get right in here to our Book It /Fade It segment. And we're going to do exactly what we've been doing. We were 7-6 last week with 2 pushes. We moved to 44 and 47. We're scratching and clawing, and we're chipping away, and we're winning back-to-back weeks. So we are changing nothing. No money sound when we read the games off to you. No nothing. We're reading them, saying book it, moving on. So the first game on the Book It segment here is, and Noah and Dave, if you guys want to alternate, we can do that, whatever, so I don't get repetitive, or I can just roll through whatever you guys want to do here. But Ole Miss at Oklahoma, first half, under 27.5, book it. Nolan, what's the next one?
Listen, brother, if we're not going to change anything, I don't touch these.
Oh, you know what? You're right. And Dave can't see the picture.
I can't.
Nope.
I can't see.
This is all you. If we're not going to change it, we ain't changing it. I'm not saying nothing.
I about screwed up. Hey, and like our new merch says in the store, we're shopping the books and buying the hooks. And the reminder is on the first half and the team totals. If we play those, you cannot buy the hooks. Those are what they are. So I'll start again because you're right, Nolan. I don't want to put no bad juju on us. I'm going to start fresh. Welcome to the Book It / Fade It segment here. We're changing nothing. First play, Ole Miss at Oklahoma. First half, under 27.5. The next play we have for you, USF at Memphis. USF -4 is the play for us. Book it. SMU at Wake Forest. SMU -2. That's the play for us this weekend. Book it. Northwestern at Nebraska. First half, under 22.5. We are loving these first half unders. They are cashing left and right. Make sure you get on that one as well. First half, under 22.5 in the Northwestern Nebraska football game. Book it. Auburn at Arkansas. First half, under 28.5. Book that shit as well. Alabama at South Carolina. We're going to play Alabama -11. That offense is just too much for South Carolina right now. I don't think they can score with them. Bama -11. Book it. Just touched on this game. Baylor at Cincinnati. We're going to lay the points. Give us Cincinnati -3. Book it. Texas at Mississippi State. We are going to take Mississippi State +8. We shopped the books and got us a good line here. Get us over that 7 mark. Get us to the full 8 because we bought the 7.5 hook. And I love this line at +8. I don't know if Texas can beat any SEC team by 8 points right now. So Mississippi State +8, book it. Get used to the cowbells. You're going to hear them bang all night. Texas A&M at LSU. First half, under 24.5 in this football game for us as well. You can book that shit also. 3 more plays for you here on the dock. Colorado State at Wyoming. First half, under 23.5. Anytime you can get your hands on a Wyoming under, those are going to hit more times than not, I feel like, when the game's at Wyoming. The weather's crazy, and you just never know what you're going to get from the weather there in Wyoming. We love unders in those football games. First half, under 23.5. Book it. Tennessee at Kentucky. Tennessee -7. Kentucky, man, they're coming off a heartbreaker against Texas last week. Just don't know if they can get up 2 weeks in a row and play their best football, and their best football is not that great. Tennessee -7. Book it. Colorado at Utah. Here you go, Jordan, for coming in and dropping the Devin Dampier quote. We got one for you here, buddy. Colorado at Utah. Lay them with Utah -13. They're on life support right now. They know they got to get up and have a big win and bounce back after that loss last week against BYU. Utah -13. Book it. Hey, those are our plays for you guys this week. Like we said, back-to-back winning weeks. We cannot wait to have another winning week this week and get back at it. Shop the books, buy the hooks. Come on, baby, and let's make some money. Fellas, we're going to play them all like we always do, and we're going to cash these checks, baby. Get in line, boys. Get it while the getting's good. Okay, the last thing on this episode that we have for you guys, we talked about it in the very beginning of the episode about how we had some exciting news. We had some new people join us here in the back half of this episode, so we told you guys we were going to announce it again just in case you missed it in the beginning. So, exciting stuff. Our merch store has finally launched. We had a good friend of ours, Chase, reach out to us, hook us up, set us up with all kinds of good stuff. We're going to show some images here again on YouTube, just in case you missed it in the beginning. For those of you that like to hunt, we got a little camo section in there, beanies, hats, pullovers, hoodies. Make sure you get your stuff here. Here's an example right here on the screen. A nice quarter zip pullover with the Blaze Orange logo or the DTSN logo on that to go ahead and get you a little bit of orange while you're out there in the woods. I already ordered one of these myself. I have one of these on order. This is the exact one I purchased, and I cannot wait to get this one in. Also, for all the golfers out there, this is fantastic stuff right here. We have an Adidas line, a Nike line. You can go in there and get you some different colors with the logos on there if you're a big golfer. I know a lot of us like to play a lot of golf on this network. Make sure you get you one of these. I went ahead and got me the Adidas one, but showing the Nike one right here. This is actually, hey, I made a funny joke in the beginning. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say this joke again. Because of all the shit I get about my hats, I went ahead and ordered me a couple hats just as well, so I don't have to get no more lip from anybody on the show about what hat I'm wearing. So I went ahead and ordered me one of these Deep Threat Sports Network hats right here. Actually, this one right here. So if you want to be like me, get you one of these. These are a good-looking lid right here. I think Nolan and David look fantastic in this lid right here if they go ahead and get them one of them. Last thing we're going to show you, there's more in the store, and this is personally my favorite because we always talk about shopping the books and buying the hooks. We love that slogan. We love that catchphrase. We feel like it's very catchy, and ever since we started dropping that line, we've been making money. So that line right there has taken us off life support and brought us back to life. And this hoodie right here is a Carhartt hoodie. Multiple colors you can get your hands on here. There's other hoodies in there as well with this slogan. If you don't like the slogan, you just want the logo, those are in there as well without the slogans and just the plain hoodies with the logo on them. So make sure you're checking the store out. We are going to drop the website and the URL link in all of our episodes moving forward. They're going to be on our homepages on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. You can get it there. Also, like we said earlier too, if you want to add something to our store or you want to put our logo on something, reach out to one of us on the show. Reach out to Chase. He was so kind to put his number in there. You can reach out to him directly on there as well and say, hey, man, is there any other models you have for my wife? Is there any other models that you have for me? You know, I want a particular shirt. What other options do you have? He can hook you up with those. He can take care of you, or we can reach out to him. You can go through us and we can reach out to him as well. But the best part about this is no one had a hell of an idea. And we had a comment in here last week from one of our loyal listeners, Jordan. He was giving us some shit about how he wants some more giveaways. So we're doing that. And we're doing some kick-ass giveaways because it was no one's idea. And I liked no one's idea. So we're going with it. And with that is you have to be subscribed. You have to like our episodes. You have to watch the episodes. And you have to go in, whether it's YouTube, Apple, or Spotify, we're going to gather all the comments. And whoever leaves the best 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, or YouTube, we're going to take the top 2. So if there's 20 of you that leave a 5-star comment, we're going to go in there, unbiased opinions, and whatever one hypes us up the most, we're going to take those comments and we're going to allow you guys, we're going to announce it on the show first, and then we're going to allow you guys to reach out to us and pick anything out from the store that you want, and we're going to pay for it and ship it to you directly. You'll come in, tell us the color, tell us the item, tell us the size. We got you. We're going to take care of you. We like our loyal listeners. We appreciate you guys getting us over the 100 subscriber mark. We're in a point now where we can give away some cool shit, and Chase has really hooked us up with this. So we appreciate him for all of that, taking care of us. So make sure, like I said, leaving 5-star comments. That's all you got to do, man. Like, subscribe, alert, 5-star comments. And don't think you're going to pull a quick one and not subscribe or not like it and get away with it. We have those data. We have those data points, and we're going to collect them. And we're going to make sure you ain't skeeting us because we're taking care of you. So this is exciting stuff right here. Nolan, what do you think is going to be the number one item picked? Like if somebody comes in there real quick and they win this thing, what item are they going to?
We talked about it at the beginning of the episode, the quarter zip or the half zip. I think that's going to be the number one item that people are looking for. It can be male, female. It goes with everything. You can dress it up. You can dress it down. Pair of shorts, pair of jeans, pair of khakis. It's an everyday item. Start looking around, looking at these quarter zip, half zips, and start promoting some DTSN here, boys and girls.
100%. That's how we get the word out there. We appreciate all you. I know Dave already was over there when I was showing those items, getting in the store right there, and we're putting some stuff on order for him. And Dave, as long as it ain't we don't have any Pavia gear, you know that. But I tell you what, you're sure as hell going to look fly in that royal blue polo that's got that DTSN logo on it. I know you're going to look good in that here in a couple of weeks when it comes in. All right, fellas. Well, what do you got, Dave? You're taking the mute button off. You got something.
No, I was just going to say, I know a lot of our folks down in the Midwest probably be grabbing that Carhartt as well because it gets pretty cold up there. So that'll be.
I'll tell you what, you'd look good. You'd look good in the Carhartt.
Absolutely.
Hey, you come back to Missouri this year for deer season, and you go out with me again. You're going to need you a Carhartt hoodie, Dave, and it's going to look good on you.
Absolutely.
It's going to look a lot better than that Pavia hoodie you wore last year. It's going to look real good.
One thing Colin didn't mention about the store, we got some camo beanies. So for all the hunters, if you already got all your camo coats, you got all your camo pants, your coveralls, everybody needs a beanie. Grab some of those camo beanies with the orange on top.
100%. Those are going to be warm. Those are going to be comfy, and they're going to look damn good, especially with that logo flying on there. Fellas, anything else tonight before we go into the fantastic weekend of college football again? Nope, all good. All right, like I said, you can find that link on our description of the episode and all of our homepages now. That we will get that URL on there. It's already on the description for this episode. We will get it on the description for the Spotify and Apple episodes as well. Not on all of our homepages yet. We are working on that. We'll get it on there. Make sure you're checking it out. You can follow us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple at Deep Threat Sports, X at DT_sports_, Facebook, Deep Threat Sports Network. Also, the URL is on the Facebook as well. Make sure you're sharing. Make sure you're liking. Make sure you're subscribing. Don't forget, drop them comments. Leave a 5-star comment for us and a review on our episode, and we'll hook you up. We'll take care of you. Fellas, until next time, that's Dave. That's No One, I'm Colin. Peace. Dave, you gone.